Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Breph, and welcome to today's challenge video. Today I'm asking the simple question, can you beat Pokémon White with only a Tynamo? Firstly, I'd like to apologise for this video coming out on a Sunday and not the Friday as I said it would. The last few days have been pretty hard and draining for a number of different reasons, including the amount of time actually needed to play through and record this challenge. But better late than never, hey? And before anyone says anything, no, I don't have coronavirus. Not yet, anyway. Although, feel free to ask in the comments whether or not I do. I hear things like that are good for a certain algorithm. In terms of stats, Tynamo is actually pretty well rounded, with only 25 points separating its worst from its best. 60 speed is nice enough, but the rest of them? Yeah, I think it goes without saying that I'm not looking forward to this. The ability Levitate is nice, making us immune from our only source of super effective damage. If anyone was sat here thinking that a cracking move pool is on offer, you'd be miles wrong. Tynamo is another one of those Pokemon that can learn 0 moves, but unlike in my Clamperl video, this time I can't be saved with TMs. Oh, what have I got myself into? The game begins and we choose the female character, naming ourselves the unthinkably inventive name of Breph. Right off the bat we get access to our Tynamo and straight up lose our first fight. This is going to be a long one, isn't it? We meet the professor in the lab and give Tynamo the combined name of Luke Toast, after both Luke Batson and Toasted Toast, who both suggested this in the comments. After losing our first fight, I can't say I'm particularly confident in this challenge. I mean, I cannot stand Gen 5 at the best of times, but with this, yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I don't think it's going to be possible for one specific reason, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, eh? The first main point of note is actually the first gym. I was a touch sneaky here and replaced Tepig using the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, meaning our first fight is against Cress. Normally I try and make a challenge as much of a challenge as possible, but in this one I decided I wanted as easy a task as I could make it. Thanks to that choice, the first badge is somewhat simple to claim. There are way too many rival fights in this game, so don't expect me to mention them unless they cause me any major issue during the run. Plot twist, none of them do. And with the absence of any of those, the next point is Lenora. I first tried this gym at level 21 and well, it did not go well. So off I went for a while to defeat every trainer I could find and do some hardcore grinding. Truth be told, I got a little bit too into it at one point, half paying attention to the game and half watching some To Catch a Predator. At level 27, we go again, and as it turns out, I really did go overkill. We beat the second gym without taking a single point of damage. So the next stop is Castelia City, and I wouldn't say I was too worried about facing Berg, but I won't lie, I was a touch doubtful. Going into this fight, I was a hefty level 33, and as it turns out, I really shouldn't have been concerned in the slightest. We pretty damn simply knock him aside and claim the badge for ourselves. Badge number 4 comes by means of Electra, who shockingly is in charge of the electric gym. The issue with this one is that if we're going to do it at a reasonable level, we need to avoid getting hit by Emolga Static, and we're going to need to use Tackle to defeat Zebstrika. So in the interest of keeping this video as short as I can so I don't have to relive these memories, I did some grinding. A lot of it. Up to level 50 where we finally, and mind you only just, managed to defeat her. And now I get worried. Why? Because we have to fight Clay. Well, I was mainly worried until I realised that our ability keeps us immune from his most powerful moves, and then I got into the fight. And I came up against Excadrill, and it practically takes no damage, so failure comes knocking, as inevitable as it was, and I go off again to gain some levels. The winning fight happened at level 65, and somehow I managed to win with just a pitiful 9 HP left. Fresh from that heart pounding moment, I have a little bit of respite. The next gym is against Skylar and the flying type gym, so I'm not really worried. We would be well on our way, but we have to go up a tower, and there we come across a trainer who has the one problem that I mentioned earlier. Golett. I'm sure we're all aware of the ghost ground typing and the limitations of that on this run. For anyone who can't put 2 and 2 together, that means that the only way we have to hit it is struggle. I don't think I need to explain why that's an arduous task to do either, but yeah. Once we manage that, at the top of the tower we ring a bell and make our way from there into the gym to fight Skylar. I genuinely don't think that the ease of this fight needs to be explained in any way, shape or form. The 7th badge, Bryson? Yeah, that does need discussing. We kick the fight off, and quite frankly, as soon as it's over, it's begun. His ice types don't really pose us any sort of threat. Well, turns out, that didn't need discussing either. The next section of the game is pretty much just a bunch of story based shit. We watch N meet his first and only friend, go and claim the Darkstone and head off towards the 8th and final gym. Iris is the dragon leader for us this time around, and well, I knew we were going to struggle here when we could barely defeat and sometimes even lose to the gym trainers in the way. I don't know what on earth caused the spike in level, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. When you can't even beat the gym trainers, you know there's only one thing on the agenda: grinding. At level 90, I beat Iris. I know that technically my HM slave did get drawn out, but he didn't do any damage and fainted straight away. I'll be honest, look, I couldn't be bothered to go back to the PC given the length of time I took grinding up before this, so fuck it, I'm moving on. Moving on all the way up to the Pokemon League. On the way, I intentionally did a few things. Firstly, I went and collected a magnet, the held item that boosts the power of electric type moves. I also went and visited the move deleter and got rid of Thunder Wave. Spark carries a chance to paralyse and also deals damage, so at this point in the game, and in truth the whole thing before it, the move has pretty much been redundant. The last thing I do is go and reduce all my PP to 0 apart from a couple of charge beams. I save and walk in to face Chantel. As a reply to one of the comments on one of the last videos, fellow challenge runner Arantula mentioned he'd like to see how I deal with Chantel's Golett, and well, the answer is with extreme difficulty. I don't think anyone can blame me when I say that the challenge ends here, guys, and we need items in order to complete this. The idea is simple: struggle through Golett, heal up PP and health, and then plough through to the rest of them. I know I'm sort of glossing over it, but that really is the long and the short of it. I chose to fight Caitlyn next, because why not, and who exactly is going to stop me? After that ordeal that we just come from, knocking our entire team out doesn't actually come with much work attached. Just spam the moves and let Caitlyn get back to her self-isolation. Marshall's up next, and I know this is going to be an easy fight. Not because we have any sort of advantage, but because we're powerful and strong enough to do so. And guess what? Besides some teething errors like idiotically using Tackle when I meant to use Spark, we pretty much easily win as predicted. So that just leaves Grimsley as the last member, and in my previous testing I faced some serious issues against his Crocodile, mainly because it's a tank and absorbs tackles like nothing. Thankfully for us, we get one single run where we get rid of it. The rest of the team is easy, and with that, we've beaten the league. So from there we head up into the castle, catch Zekrom, get rid of it in the PC and head back in to fight N. I realised early on that we stand no chance. I need luck, and luck alone. I did rush around to get paralysed by Spark first time around, fall victim to paralysis each and every turn, and yes, that involves re-paralysing him after the full restore. Each charge beam needs to hit and boost special attack, and yeah, basically it's impossible as far as being practical. I go and get the Eviolite and equip it. All things said, yeah, this wasn't possible without items anyway. Not that it matters, but we need healing ones to do this. The Eviolite definitely helps, but full restores and a bit of luck, that's all we really needed to beat N. And with that, we've only got one more battle for this challenge. Getsis is up last, and without wanting to prolong the ending to this hellspawn of a challenge, we need healing items for this one too. He wasn't as much of an issue as N, but by the same token, it wasn't any more fun to do. With that fight over, the challenge ends. At the start of this challenge, I asked a simple question. Can you beat Pokémon White with only Tynamo? The answer, unsurprisingly, is no. No, you can't. It didn't surprise me, and I don't really think it should surprise anyone. I was asked a while ago to do a challenge with my favourite Pokemon, and I think that I'm going to choose to do that one next time. In theory at least, it should be easier and definitely going to be a lot more fun for me. Needless to say, yeah, don't give this one a go, because speaking of fun, it definitely wasn't. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more content like this, and comment down below any challenges you might like to see me take on in the future. Please, join me next time when I ask the question, can you beat Pokemon Heart Gold with only Armaldo? Thanks again so much for watching, and I invite you all to be there with me in the next one.